Hello, fellow music nuts. It's me, Covey, with another personal spin, and I am going to be reviewing Devil Driver's new album, Dealing with Demons Volume 1, their ninth studio album, released after the Country Covers album, which I still haven't actually managed to get, which I will do at some point. So, where do we start? Well, Dez and the gang have released a very solid album. There's plenty to enjoy on this album. There's lots of mind-crushing riffs and powerful bass lines and like authoritative drumming and Dez's gargantuan yell, which is always awesome. They've managed to include in the 39-minute running time loads of really catchy riffs, especially the opening song Keep Away From Me with its Gojira style riff. No, that's an actual Gojira riff. Anyway, there's even some catchy vocal, I wouldn't say melodies, but phrases in it, such as on Iona, or is it Lona? I've never been sure if that's an I or an L. So I'm going to call it Iona because that's an island in Scotland, which has got this refrain that goes, "She carries a black rose," which is cool. Obviously, does Des yell, but I can't do that, so it's cool. You got "You Give Me a Reason to Drink," which is another awesome song, and Keep Away From Me, the opening song, is pretty good as well. Witches is another really good one. Basically, the whole album is really pretty good. My biggest issue with it and with all Devil Driver albums is there tends to be a problem with, because they're so good and consistent, a lot of the songs tend to sort of takes multiple listens to actually pick out each song. The first two listens I listened to it, the first song stood out, but then the rest of it sort of divulged into this sort of mess of noise. But after 3 or 4 listens, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, and oh, that's cool, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with an album that does that per se, but I don't know. I feel like that sort of holds Devil Driver back from rising a little bit more to be more than what they are already, unless that's not what they want. I mean, there's nothing wrong with staying with it. I mean, they're a pretty big band. Let's face it. I mean, bigger than me. But I just feel that largely it's the production, especially. I mean, it's got the sort of typical 2020 modern production anyway, where there's not a whole lot of space in between the instruments and it's all sort of crushed in. Which I'm not a huge fan of anyway. I prefer a slightly more sort of spacious production, which you don't get from many bands these days. But I can live with it. It doesn't affect it that much for me. But it does make the album a little bit harder to listen to, even though it's only running for 39 minutes, because it does tend to sort of get a bit samey. That said, however, there is a lot going on in these songs. There's all sorts of interesting things. You've got cacophonic, riffs. You've got snippets of acoustic guitar, and then you've got actual acoustic guitar songs and instrumental parts. You've got some. I couldn't find it when I was just listening now, but when I was on my bike yesterday listening to the album, there is a particular song where it sort of leads you to think that the drums are going to do a particular thing, and it doesn't happen. Now, I quite like it when things like that happen because it then does happen later on in the song, and I like that because it gives you something less expected to listen to. So overall, the album is very good, and largely consistent with the rest of Devil Driver, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. It'd be nice if they tried some new stuff, which they have done. Actually, there is a whole song of actual singing, and I can't find any credits other than Dez's son. But in this particular song, he's not credited as singing in it. So I'm assuming it's Des singing, and it's really good. So I wouldn't mind hearing some more vocal variety on the next album, which is actually coming out really soon. Um, just to stand it apart from things, give things their own individual thingy, because that's my only issue really. Yeah, it's great to be like, yeah, and every song makes you do that, especially after you've listened to it 20 times like I have. But at the same time, it's sort of a bit samey. However, it's a very solid album, and I will give it 8 out of 10 drums, because although it's samey, they've got killer riffs, this band. Devil Driver are awesome, and it's got really good album artwork as well. So there we go. Thank you for watching. I have been Cubby. This has been my personal spin on Dealing with Demons Volume 1 by Devil Driver. If you like my stuff, please like and subscribe. I will be doing more videos very, very soon. Thanks. Goodbye.